How's it going, everybody? DeviantGamer here, and welcome back to another Kuza server tutorial. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about user shops. Now, we did have a plugin prior to the one that I'm going to show you, so if you watched that video, definitely watch this one because we removed that. It was bugged, and we've added it with a new, greater, more improved. It has rockets and everything. Okay, it may not have rockets for you guys, but just imagine it has rockets. Either way, let's go ahead and get to working on this shop tutorial. So anyways, this is my shop. Here is where I'm going to sell some items. I have a little shelf for them. So I'm going to go ahead and hover. I'm going to sell some rails. So move your inventory over to the rails and type in /SCS space sell. This, which means that it's a sell shop. This means that it's the item that you're currently selecting. I am selling it one at a time, but you could sell it at like 16 at a time if you felt like it, or even 100 at a time. As long as your shop has stock for that amount, you can do it. And you also have to have that much in your inventory. So if you don't have 100 rail in your inventory, it won't allow you to set up the shop. But I have 64 stacks, so if I wanted to sell 16 at a time, it would let me because I have enough to set up the shop. But I'm just going to sell it one at a time. And I'm going to sell them at 25 dricks a piece because, you know, it costs a lot of iron to make that, so I might as well make it worth it. And then hit enter, and it'll ask you to right-click the showcase. You can right-click it with the item, or you can move your cursor and right-click it with an empty inventory. It doesn't matter either way. As you can see, I right-clicked it with the rail, but actually removed the rail and, you know, put it back in my inventory because obviously you don't want to place rails and stuff all over the place. So either way works. As you can see, it's hovering an item there. It's not a real item. You can't pick it up. Also, you can see that I am missing a rail here. I had 64. Now I have 63. That's because I told it I am selling one at a time. So I put one in here. I can put the rest in here. Might as well. If you don't have anything in here, though, it will become inactive because you don't have anything to sell. You can check the status of a shop by left-clicking it. As you can see, sell shop inactive. But if I put in 64 in here and left click it, it'll now say it's a sell shop selling rails, what the price is, and how much is in inventory. If you're a user, when you right click, you won't get this unless you're the shop owner. If you right click it as a purchaser, it'll actually buy one. If you wanted to buy more than one, it's really easy. Just SCS space unit and how much you want to buy at once. So I want to buy 16 at one time. So now my purchase unit is set to 16. If I right-clicked as a buyer, I would still buy one. But if I shift right-click, now I buy 16 at a time. So if you're maybe a shop sells wool, but it's only selling one wool at a time, and you wanted to buy 64 or 116 or 1,000, just type in the same thing of, you know, this and say 100. And now your unit is set to 100. And whenever you shift click, you'd buy 100 at a time. Now do be aware, if the shop doesn't have 100, it will tell you the shop doesn't have enough to supply your order. But that is a way of kind of mass buying a lot of items that you're trying to buy. And as a shop owner, maybe you are tired of left clicking. It's annoying. It doesn't look very good. If you have a sign and you right click, you know, the sign in front of your shop, it will automatically fill it with this information. So now you can see it has 64 in the inventory, and it's selling, and it's 25 dricks, and it's FE Python shop. Now if I take half this out, it'll update to 32. Oopsies, I don't want that there. Actually, that goes to show you another thing to worry about. As you can see, I broke that rail, but I didn't get it back. That's because if you drop an item next to that item, they will combine. As you can see, these two combined, and you cannot pick them up. So do not drop an item next to these shops if that item is being sold. Do be aware of that. Then now I have 62. So that's to set up a sell shop. Now to set up a buy shop, it's very similar. I'm going to go ahead and hold glass here, and I'm going to do SCS buy instead of sell. Once again, this, because it's the item I'm holding in my inventory. I want to buy one glass because why not? And I am offering you 15 dricks for that glass. And now I'll ask you to send it up. I'm going to right click with an empty hand this time. You could right click with the item in your inventory. It doesn't matter. But as you can see, this time it did not take the glass out of my inventory. even though it's floating here. And that's because I'm asking for items. I'm not selling items. So it doesn't actually need anything in its inventory here. And if you right click a sign down in front of it, as you can see, it's now saying buy shop instead of sell shop and how much is available. As a user who's wanting to buy glass, you can also left click on the slab or whatever block. It doesn't actually have to be stone slabs. It could be anything. It could be cobblestone. It could be stone brick. It could be gold blocks if you wanted to. As long as it's a physical block, slab or block, it doesn't matter. But if you left click it, it'll tell me I'm buying glass and I am asking for 1. So let's say I had somebody sell me some glass. So I'm going to put some glass in there. So now the quantity is 1. Now if I left click, you can see that the quantity is 1 out of 1. I am no longer asking for any more glass. My shop is now full. So if you only want to buy a specific amount, just make it a smaller number. If you want to keep buying glass, it doesn't really matter. You can make it a huge number, like 1,000 or something. You can also set up shops, either buy or sell, if you don't have the item in your hand. This is a very good way of setting up buy shops. So SCS buy. I want to buy ender pearls, which is 368. And I want to buy 16 ender pearls, and I am offering you 20 dricks an ender pearl. If I hit enter there, as you can see, I have no ender pearls in my inventory. But if I right click, an ender pearl will pop up in the display. And, you know, it's not there. It doesn't exist. But if I right click here, now it says, you know, I'm buying 1 at 20. And if I left click, it'll say ender pearl. So you can do that even with the buy shop. You just need the inventory, or sorry, not the buy shop, the sell shops. But you do need the inventory in, or the item in your inventory to stock the shelf. So do be aware of that. But it is a good way of setting up a buying shop if you maybe don't have the item, hence why you're trying to buy it. Another shop that you can do, and I will take the glass out of here, is maybe you are trying to buy an item, but you don't want, or sell an item, but you're not selling it for a price. You're selling it for another item. That is called an exchange. So SCS exchange. And oopsies, let me get to the glass so it's in my hand. Oops. SCS exchange. So I'm exchanging glass for 88, which is soul sand. And I am offering it to you at 1 glass for 5 soul sand. You can also say, I will give you 5 glass for 1 soul sand, but just like the sell shop, you need that amount in your inventory when setting it up, or it'll give you an error saying that you do not have the appropriate amount to do that. Now, see, like I just said, it allowed me to do it, but it didn't allow me to set it up because I do not have the items to create that showcase. So once again, I'm going to select this glass, and I'm going to do it the 1:5 ratio, and then right click, and there you go. It took that glass out of my inventory because it's acting like a sell shop. It needs stock. So you can see it's in the stock here. And once again, you can put a sign in front of it, and it'll say exchange, and the price is how much you're asking for. So if you left click it, now it says I'm offering glass for soul sand at 5 dricks. Now, if you are offering it at a higher quantity than a 1-to-1, it will say when you left click here how much your inventory quantity is that you're offering. So just be aware of that. Now, the last thing to note about shops is to remove them. So if I wanted to remove this shop, I'm no longer wanting to sell rails. It's just SCS remove. And then it'll ask you to right click the shop that you want to remove. So I'm going to right click this one. And as you can see, the 62 rails that I had in the inventory goes back into my personal inventory. And it's no longer there. This sign will not update because obviously it's not a shop anymore. So it's a good idea to remove any signs that are invalid. So we have our shop. We're selling and buying stuff. Now to get people to our shop is really easy. It's just set shop. And now you have a teleporter to your shop with your username assigned to it. So if I go over here, as you see, you can even say warp fepython_shop has been set. So if somebody wants to go to my shop, it's just shop and the person's name, fepython. Now you do need to type in their original name. As you can see on the server here, I'm known as DeviantGamer, Deviant. So even though my name is Deviant, if I type in shop Deviant, it will say that shop doesn't exist. You actually have to type in your true username, FEPython, and that will teleport you to the shop. Now, if you wanted to go to your own shop, instead of typing in your name every time, you can easily just type in /myshop, and that'll bring you to your own shop. It's a much quicker way of doing it. And if you wanted to remove your shop teleporter, maybe you're moving your shop somewhere else and you don't need it anymore, or you're just removing it completely, just delete del shop, and now it's gone. And now if somebody typed in shop FEPython, it would say that warp doesn't exist. So we have a shop, we have a way to get to your shop. Now let's advertise to the shop. So if you go to spawn, to the right here, oh great, it's raining. To the right here is our realtor office. This is where you buy blocks for your town. Well, right here is our news board. Our news board allows people to rent signs for a set amount of time and put whatever they want. Either you're advertising your shop, like down here, the edge of the edge, a new shop, and it tells you. My apologies, my Minecraft tried to minimize on me. But anyways, so that's the shop. So parent and all that. All you do is right click it and then you right click it again. I'm actually renting this sign, so I don't have to right click it again to rent it. But if you are renting a sign and you right click it, it'll tell you how long it's active and who the owner of that sign is. So if I right clicked this sign, it will tell me that Rural Kingsling is the sign owner. And if you right click with the sign on the sign, so I have a sign in my inventory here, 13 of them, it'll allow me a template. So this is a great way of saying, I'm selling things. And then you definitely want to type in your username so that people know how to get to your shop. Like, for instance, a parent's. His name's actually a parent threat. And I know this by right-clicking the sign. It says apparent threats. Pup, I don't know who Pup is. But if I right-click it, you can see Killer Puppies is the name. So that's another way of finding it out if they don't actually put their username there. But it is a good way of doing it for people who don't check out my videos. They won't know about that little trick. And through the 3 days, or as long as you have that sign rented, you can change it to whatever you want. And as you can see, it actually doesn't take that sign away. It just uses it as a template. And now you can go, back to your shop and, sell items and buy items and have a good old time. So if you have any questions, just comment down below or ask any of the GMs on the server. We'd be glad to help you out. Hopefully this tutorial helped you. And as always, stay epic. This is DeviantGamer signing off. Adios.